If you feel great, dude, and you wake up every day, you feel amazing, you're ready to attack the day, you're ready to do shit, like stress in business is nothing.
Before NIL, college athletes weren't allowed to have brand deals?
Nothing. They couldn't even get a burger paid for them.
Why would you take on a certain influence as a client rather than another one? Like, what do you look for?
Number one is, how bad do they want it? We live in the greatest place on the planet.
We do.
I mean, we have the beach 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
This past week, we just signed our biggest individual client deal with Gatorade. Johnny Manziel, he's the classic story. He made millions, like signing his own jerseys and stuff and doing it under the table.
All right, guys, welcome to the Miami Injury Lawyer Podcast, episode 3. Today we have Michael Raymond with Raymond Representation. Good friend of mine. I'm not even sure how we met. I think it's through mutual friends, but nonetheless, another law grad, right?
Yes, sir.
Go Canes. And he's going to tell us all about Raymond Representation, how he works with young athletes and really help blow up their brand. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Appreciate you, bro. I got my left hand, but we're from the same area, so
yeah, we are.
It was kind of inevitable that we would meet.
Yeah.
In Weston, so shout out to Weston as well.
And shout out to Jake Dubrow, right?
Yeah, Jake. Out of all people, he was the one that introduced us. And no, man. I mean, I'll say this: I know I'm the guest of the show, but I'm so impressed with you, man.
Thank you,
You've
brother.
been killing it the past couple of years,
Thank
and
you.
You know,
Thanks
I
for
look
the
to
support.
inspire like people that are up and coming and younger like us. You know,
Yeah.
you're the same age. We're the same age.
Yeah.
And I look up to this guy. I follow this guy. I follow his journey. He lived in Fort Lauderdale, came to
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah.
And, you know, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun.
Yeah, man.
I was
it's
once
great.
here and I left. Maybe I'll come back. Who knows?
You got to make it back.
Maybe I'll come back.
Well, I look up to you, brother, literally and figuratively. He's
Literally.
like almost 7 foot tall.
That's funny. That's funny.
But nonetheless, tell us about Raymond Representation. Like, let's just start with that. How it started from the beginning.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
So I actually started it in law school at
Okay.
University of Miami. I was, you know, like every other law student, I was trying to get a job. You know, I was trying to get an internship with a sports agency. Never wanted to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
You know, I never wanted to do
Really?
what you're doing. As much as I love what you do, I didn't want to do it.
So you went to law school with the intention of not becoming an attorney.
I did. I actually did.
That's
And,
crazy.
and that could have changed.
Yeah.
But I really did not want to be a traditional attorney. I had
Yeah.
no interest at all in doing that. I always wanted to work in sports.
Right.
But I still thought law school would be a great opportunity, and it was. I loved it. I had no regrets whatsoever. I learned more than I ever could, and I met millions of great people and a lot of mentors along the way. So when I got there, you know, my second year, which is typically when you try to get a job or an internship for the
Yeah.
first time, right?
Right.
I was interning. I was interviewing with, you know, some sports agencies, some bigger ones with the MBPA and other companies and things like that, and COVID hit. And that's when COVID really started. That was like the worst year of everybody's life.
Yeah.
You know, so fast forward like 6-7 months, kind of like going through COVID, you know, everybody's home, there's no classes, whatever. And I have a couple of friends, you know, I played basketball my whole life. At UCF, I was very involved with the basketball team and the players. Started hitting me up and they were like, you know, why don't you start now? Like, why don't you try to represent us and help us and do things that our agents aren't doing for us now? And that's really how it started. It started as me, you know, completing my first goal, which was become an NBA agent. That was my number one goal. That's what I always wanted to be.
Okay.
And becoming it and being successful in it are two different things.
Yeah.
And
But first you have to become.
first you got to become it. So, you know, I took the MBPA exam while I was in school, and thankfully I passed and I became an agent, and it was, you know, it was a dream come true. It was what I always wanted to be. And then I was like, all right, now I got to make some money.
Right.
Now I got to sign some clients.
Yeah.
And, you know, now it gets real. So that's kind of how it all started. And thankfully, I had a couple of really close friends of mine who gave me the opportunity, who were playing overseas or in the G League or two-way contract in the NBA. And they said, we want you to be our agent. You know, go for it. And, you know, didn't make any money, did everything for free. I was doing charity camps in the summer for them. I was getting them small brand deals for nothing at the time, like $500, $1,000. And then representing them, obviously, on their pro contracts as well.
Yeah.
And started Raymond Rep. And then I was like, you know what? My goal was, can I make enough money before I graduate to cover my expenses? And I was like, if I could do that by the time that I graduate, you know, I'm going to give this a chance and I'm going to really go for it.
Yeah.
And I did. And thankfully, by the time in May when I graduated, I was making, you know, $5,000-6,000 a month, and
Wow.
I was able to afford my life.
That's
and I
awesome.
told my parents, I said, listen, give me 1 year. Give me 1 year to prove it that I'm gonna blow this thing up. And we did $1 million in revenue my first year.
Holy shit.
At 24, I was like, I can't believe it. It's crazy.
Wow.
So and then now it's 3 years later. So that's where we're at.
That's huge.
Yeah, it was
And,
cool.
and who was your first client?
I think it was Justin Gray, Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
Yeah, which was another friend of mine from UCF, was his cousin.
Yeah.
And he was playing overseas. He wanted a couple of G League workouts, and he ended up switching over to me. And then Aubrey Dawkins, who's like one of my closest friends from UCF, shout out to him, and Coach Dawkins, who's the coach of UCF. He was another client that helped me, and that's kind of how it all started.
That's it. That's awesome. Well, I went to law school as well, and law school is not easy. It takes a lot of fucking time, a lot of focus.
Yeah. I didn't know we could curse. Now we can curse.
Yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Yeah, but nonetheless, how was it running a sports agency?
Yeah.
Sports agency while being a full-time law student, because you weren't part-time.
No.
You were a full-time student.
No.
So how did you balance that?
No, it was interesting, man. It was a different experience. It was kind of funny because it got to the point where, a lot of people would ask me questions about it.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit discouraging at sometimes because like people kind of like made fun of me low key.
Yeah.
Like they weren't making fun of me, meaning like they were like assholes to me or like, it's stupid what you're doing. But I could tell they thought it was like a joke.
Right.
Right. They're like, oh, another kid wants to be a sports agent, like every fucking kid on the planet. Right.
Yeah.
And, they're interviewing with these big law firm jobs and getting paid a shit ton of money and whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody was like kind of like in that way. I did have a lot of supporters as well. I had a lot of friends that loved it and wanted to be involved and things like that. And it got really funny when I started to have interns for the first time. And some of them were in my class with me.
That's crazy.
And I was literally in class, like with 2 fucking interns who were in my law school class.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. That was a fun experience. And then, I had a great mentor at Miami who you might know, Greg Levy, he's like an associate dean there for the sports program.
Nice.
He really looked out for me and put me in the room with the right people. And I met a lot of people and it was great. And yeah, it was a fun experience. I wasn't paying attention in class.
Gotcha.
At all.
All right, but you graduated.
Oh yeah, I graduated. I was good. I actually had decent grades, but you could ask anybody. I was literally answering emails and trying to close deals while I was sitting in class.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
Did you ever have a deal that you closed in class where in your head you're like, fuck yeah, I just closed that?
Yeah.
And then like, meanwhile you're looking around. And
that's a great point because I have like a full circle moment. So this past week, we just signed our biggest individual client deal with Gatorade.
Wow.
For one of my clients, AJ Green. Coolest. First of all, the Gatorade's amazing. Like Gatorade's an amazing company. I love them. The agency we work with, which is their marketing company, is amazing. But speaking of that, when I was in class, I closed like a $5,000 deal like 3 years ago for him when he was first starting. And I walked out of the class and called him mid-class and freaked out. And now, like, we just signed a 6-figure deal with them.
Wow.
And I was like, I couldn't believe it, like, full circle moment.
Congrats.
So true story, I swear.
Shit.
So.
Who's it, AJ Green?
AJ Green. He's not AJ Green, the Bengals Hall of Famer, but AJ Green, who's bigger than him now.
Yeah.
He's like the biggest YouTuber in the football space.
Really?
Yeah, he's phenomenal. He's
how many subscribers?
Millions.
Millions,
yeah. He has a couple million on YouTube. He has a youth channel that's going to be at 1 million like in the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
TikTok, 2-3 million. Instagram, million plus.
Crap.
He kills it. I mean, he's a full-time influencer who makes millions of dollars. He's unbelievable.
We got to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, when he comes to Miami for sure. He's the best. He's a phenomenal personality. He's hilarious.
That's so cool.
And the one thing that he's done that's really, really incredible that I give him props for, and I try to remind him, is he has the youth. The youth love him.
Got you.
And I'm like, dude, you have more of an impact on the youth than NFL players do.
Yeah.
And he forgets that sometimes.
Wow.
So try to remind him.
That's awesome. How did you guys meet? Like, how did
DM.
that come about? DM.
Social media.
That's nuts. The power of social media.
I had one other client who was similar, another football creator. I still have him now. I love him to death, Clifford Taylor. And he was my first influencer that I ever represented. And I did a couple of deals with him, and I think AJ saw those deals and then hit him up and was like, who's your agent?
Wow.
And this was when the influencer space was kind of just starting.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago. So it was very new to me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it. And I was like, it's just reviewing contracts. I could do the same thing that I've done.
Right.
And then it ended up being amazing working with all these brands. It was crazy.
Yeah. Do you think another reason you might have got a little hate is because you were representing influencers and not like professional athletes.
Yeah, you know, the funny thing is like the older people, right, or like the lawyers and stuff that I know,
Yeah.
they don't know influencers or even NIL half the time, right?
Right.
Like they don't know half of the NIL clients that I have.
Yeah.
But like what they don't know is they're making like 6-7 figures a year, you know? So it's like, they're like, where's Jalen Brunson? Where's Jimmy Butler? You know, where's Jason Tatum? And I'm like, you know, obviously we all want to represent those guys, but it takes time, you know, it takes time. We'll get there one day.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've only been in the business for 3 years, and, you know, the basketball side is insanely difficult.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal. I still do it. You know, this year we had a great accomplishment because I have a partner, Keith Kreider, out of Chicago. He's my partner on the basketball side.
Okay.
We had 8 guys for the pre-draft process this year. One of our guys, Enrique Freeman, is playing at the Combine right now.
Wow.
And he's had an incredible week. He might get drafted.
Nice.
So it's going to take time, but
Yeah.
we're going to get there. We're going to get somebody.
Awesome. That's fucking great. And being that you represent a lot of influencers, if an influencer is interested, like why would you take on a certain influencer on a client as a client rather than another one? Like what do you look for?
What I look for, when I'm signing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors, and that has changed a lot over the years. So I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Just like you know, when you're
Right.
looking for it, when a client calls you, like, do you want to take the case, right?
Yeah. In the beginning, you're taking everything.
Everything.
You're like,
Exactly.
okay, you want an agent?
Exactly.
I got you.
That's my point.
You
It's
got
like,
into a crash? I got
yeah,
you.
like first year I was like fuck it, like we just got to sign anybody and
Yeah.
figure this shit out.
Right.
You know, now I have a whole process. I mean, I interview them 2 or 3 times. I get on the phone with them.
Got you.
You know, we check their analytics. We run through all their analytics. We see, okay, does, you know, a good-looking girl who's an athlete, is it 99% male following that's just looking at, you know, a good-looking girl? Or like, do they make great content? Do they have a mix? You know, because I think the most marketable athletes are the ones that can actually touch the youth. That's
Right.
why, you know, Caitlin Clark is a great example. She's fucking unbelievable. But
Who's
if you,
Caitlin Clark?
she's the girl that went to the WNBA who like broke all the records.
Oh, yeah.
At Iowa last year. You know, for her, like she's unbelievable because, you know, yeah, she's a great looking girl, whatever. She kills it. But she has so many girls that love her and follow her and want to be like her.
Right.
And those are the most marketable athletes.
Right.
You know, you don't want somebody that's just like a good looking person, right? And they're just all getting followed, right?
Yeah.
So we're not looking for OnlyFans girls. That's not what we're trying to do.
Right.
So, you know, I run their analytics, I interview them, I check their personality. But I think number one is how bad do they want it?
Yeah.
Do they really want to be an influencer? Especially with college athletes, with NIL. You know, so many of these football and basketball players specifically, I say them because that's where all the big money is, is they get so much money from the schools now because of the collective money that's going out there that they don't really care about the brand deals and stuff anymore because they're making 10, 20 grand on those when they're getting like $500 to $1 million from the collective.
Wait,
So they get lazy.
Go backtrack. Cause
Yeah.
I know a little bit about NIL, and really the only thing I know is that it allows college athletes.
Yeah, I'll break it down for you.
Basically, sell their name, right? But it
Yeah.
sounds like there's different aspects.
So there's really two. There's
Okay.
really 2 aspects to it. So one, and it really only applies to football and basketball.
Okay.
Sometimes it's other sports too, but so the schools, which this will change in a couple of years, I think. I think the schools will just do this directly.
Okay.
But the schools basically work with these companies called collectives or these organizations called collectives. All that is a bunch of money piled up by an alumni or a group of alumni.
Okay.
Where they go, okay, here's $3 million for the Kentucky basketball team, split it up between the 10 guys.
Really?
And obviously the best guy will get the most money, right? So
No
that's
way.
what's happening. This was happening low key before,
Yeah.
but like not at a public level.
Right.
You know, like the best players were definitely getting something at some point, but now it's legal. So I think at some point the schools or the athletic department will be doing it themselves. They'll just be spending the money themselves. But there's another side of NIL, which is more of my bread and butter.
Wait, before we get into that,
Go ahead.
for the first side of NIL, we have this guy, alumni, let's say alumni University of Miami,
Yep.
wants to give the basketball team $10 million to divide amongst the players. What does he get in exchange for that? Does he get
Nothing.
Nothing.
Just because he loves the school. I mean, I'm sure he gets like season tickets and VIP
but
treatment.
he doesn't like get the right to like sell their name.
No.
Oh.
No. So it's not even his business.
Oh,
So
wow.
so that is part of it if you want it to be. So
Gotcha.
for example, like, you know, John Ruiz, who was the biggest donor at University of Miami,
Yes.
he did a lot of Life Wallet stuff with a lot of the athletes there. But that kind of backfired because
Wait, he
now
did what?
he has a company called Life Wallet.
Okay.
So he was giving tons of money to the school, and then the athletes were promoting Life Wallet,
Okay, gotcha.
which was his company.
Gotcha.
But that backfired because they were taking so much money from one guy And now he's under investigation and he has problems and there's no money getting paid to some of the athletes and there's a lot of issues. So like it's a problem sometimes. What I would love to see is exactly what you said, which is like alumni that have major companies come in and say like, hey, I own KFC and I went to Louisville. I want to give the student athletes $5 million, but I want them to promote KFC.
Yeah.
That would be sick.
Right.
I say KFC because the Yum Center is it's the Louisville Yum Center.
Yeah.
So like that would be a great idea. And I think that's exactly what it should become.
Right.
Like you want to go to University of Miami and say, yo, I want to donate $500K, find me 2 athletes that promote my injury firm.
Yeah.
Phenomenal idea. That's what Morgan & Morgan is doing a ton of. I see them doing it all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's one way.
Yeah.
What I do a lot is the brand side. So the brand side is like only for the most marketable athletes.
Gotcha.
So there's probably only 10% out of the 100
that get brand deals.
that get actual brand deals with Gatorade, with Pellegrino, with Nike, Adidas.
Wow.
And my goal was to identify them and then really try to find the ones that are creators, that make content, that have a big following, that have a great social media presence, personality. Because as you know, you've met football players and basketball players. Some of them don't like to talk or showcase their personality. Yeah. And like those guys are great football players, but are they the most marketable? Not really. Right. Unless you're like, you know, LeBron level. Yeah. They do deals anyways because they're at that level.
They're goats. That's a goat.
But look at the NBA. Like 90% of NBA players, they don't do any marketing at all because nobody knows who they are. Yeah, they have no social media. They don't care. They don't put any time or effort into it. Yeah. So those are the guys that we stay away from. And that's also why I have a lot of female athletes because, like, fortunately, female athletes, they care more. They know that they can't just go to the NBA and the NFL. Yeah. And they care about social media more. Yeah. So I have a mix, obviously, of both, but female athletes really kill it for me.
Right. So. And then on that end, like the ones that really want to be influencers, do you help with their content creation or is that really, that's their end?
We try to help. No, we try to help. I mean, at the end of the day, I can't help that much. Right. You know, I give them what I know and I give them what the brands might tell me. Like, for example, if I have a client, this happens sometimes. Like if I have a client who I signed and I thought that he was going to get tons of deals, but he doesn't. And it's been like 5 months and he hasn't got any deals. And I'm like, what's going on? So then we do a little bit of a deep dive. We talk to them. We see what's going on. And we give our opinions of like what the brands are saying. You know, they say, oh, you're not speaking in front of the camera enough or you're not showing your face or, you know, you're doing stuff that's not friendly for the brand. You know, like you're posting like political stuff or anything. I don't know. Just, you know? Yeah. So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
And now, like before NIL, athletes weren't allowed to have, college athletes weren't allowed to have brand deals?
Nothing.
Really?
At all. Nothing. They couldn't even get a burger paid for them. Like by an agent or by a coach or anything.
Nuts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Right.
You know, like Johnny Manziel, he's the classic story. He made millions like signing his own jerseys and stuff and doing it under the table.
Yeah, yeah.
But
so they're
it's
not
crazy.
even allowed to get paid to sign their own jersey?
No. And
Joe Schmo says, yo, I'll pay you $500 to sign my jersey.
No way. Nothing.
That's nuts.
And what's crazy now is that the whole landscape changed, and it even intrigued EA to come out with the football game again, which comes out next month.
Oh, shit. So it's a college football game.
And now their names are on the jerseys. They're on the cover of the game. Like Travis Hunter and like 2 other players are on the cover of the game. Wow. And it's the first time in 10 years.
Wow.
So NIL really changed the landscape and it changed the sports agency landscape. It changed my whole business completely. And honestly, I think the reason that we're successful is because of the timing. We got in at the perfect time. It's basically a whole new industry for people. Yeah. And the best part about it is that, you know, the old school agents that are like 50, 60 years old, you know, the lawyers, the old school guys, they hate NIL. They hate social media. Yeah. They hate all of this. They're like, damn, we got to work with these kids now when they're in high school and college. Like they were like, we already got to do enough when they're coming out of college. Yeah. So now they got to compete with the young, relatable guys like me who are coming in that know social media, have influencers, have the brands, and it's changing the whole world. So,
wow. So it really transformed the whole industry.
It gave us a shot, which, you know, I appreciate.
And that got past
2021.
2021, you started Raymond Representation.
2021.
In 2021.
Dude, I started Raymond Rep like literally 5 months before that. And I remember Darren Heitner, you know him, and he texted me. He goes, something's coming soon. Like, be ready for it. And nobody really knew. And the first 6 months, bro, when NIL passed, nobody knew what they were doing. Nobody knew who was going to make a lot of money and who wasn't. Right. I think everybody thought that just like the quarterbacks and like the basketball players who are really, really good were going to make a lot of money. But I got lucky enough to sign like 10 different people, basketball, gymnastics, football.
Yeah.
And I saw who was making the money. And then all of a sudden I was like, all right, now we know what to do.
Got you.
Yeah.
Is it like a tough rule to kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for, navigate? Or is it pretty straightforward? Like you don't have as many regulations?
Well, it's interesting. That's a good question because some schools are very, very like on top of it, and the rules are strict, and like they check our contracts, and like they have
really?
compliance people that check stuff.
Okay.
But a lot of schools aren't, and the NCAA doesn't do anything. They're I mean, everybody's talking shit about them right now. Like, what have they been doing? The rules will change at some point. I think that something will happen. And everybody thinks that there's going to be some kind of like a revenue sharing model, which is like what happens in the NBA and the NFL. Because
like sharing revenue with the school?
Yeah, like that's why I say football and basketball. Like football and basketball is where a lot of the money is, right?
Yeah.
That's where all the money is basically. So they think that there's going to be a huge pile of it. The schools will get it, and the athletic departments will basically just pay the students the money that I'm talking about from the collectives.
Gotcha.
There won't be collectives, I don't think. Or they will just merge with the school.
Gotcha.
So, because right now the school is not supposed to be involved. So the rules change every day, though. It's crazy, literally every day. They just passed another rule like last week that schools can help now and like a bunch of stuff. So
that's great that you're you're an attorney as well.
Yeah.
So that you can read those rules and
100%.
Who writes those rules?
The NCAA.
The NCAA.
And the federal government has been involved in some stuff as well, and the state governments too, because some states have specific agent laws.
Gotcha.
Like, for example, like I'm in Florida, I'm a licensed agent, right? Sports agent, like it's an actual certificate you have to get.
Yeah.
But then if I want to go recruit, let's just say Caitlin Clark out of Iowa, right? I got to go get an Iowa agent license to even recruit her. Obviously, you don't have to get it like right away. Like you need to like know that you're actually going to sign her, or you're recruiting her.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be licensed in every state that you do any business in.
Oh, wow.
So it gets expensive and annoying for sure.
You have to take a test for each
No,
state?
no tests, no tests.
Okay.
You just pay a fee. Sometimes
Gotcha.
it's cheap, sometimes it's expensive.
Wow. So how many states are you licensed in?
I have like 15
Oh, you do?
to 20, yeah.
So
I have it for my biggest clients.
Okay.
That
makes
and
sense.
You don't need it for influencers. You don't need it for
Right.
pro athletes, but for NIL you need it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Do you represent any pro athletes?
Yeah. So we have a couple of guys in NBA right now, like
Wow.
lower level, two-way level, but great guys.
What's two-way? What does that mean?
So two-way means that they probably spend half their time in the G League.
Okay.
So they spend some time on the NBA team, they get to play, and then they spend some time on the G League team. Still paid pretty well. It's like $600-700K.
Nice.
It's not bad. We got a guy on the Utah Jazz, Micah Potter.
Nice.
I'm trying to think who else. We had Michael Mulder, who was on the Heat last year. He's on the Nets now.
Nice.
Got Enrique Freeman at the Combine, who's going to probably be on a two-way or get drafted as well. And then a bunch of guys overseas. My guy Cam Augusti, University of Miami, was with the Pistons last year.
Nice.
So they come and go kind of in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah,
interesting.
my partner Keith has had NBA guys 30 years in the business.
Oh, really? He's a lot older.
So he's like in his 50s.
Wow.
But one of the tribe.
Yeah.
He's one of the tribe, so Baruch
Good.
Hashem to him.
Good.
He's the man. I love him. You would love him too. He's one of us. He's great.
Yeah.
And he's had first-round picks, second-round picks. He's seen it all. And the reason that we came together was because, a mentor of mine introduced me to him, and I was just getting started as an agent. And he was like, I'll help you with, I had two players at the time. He's like, I'll help you with whatever you need. Whatever you need help with, I'll help you. And we ended up building a relationship out of that. And I was like, I don't really have time to be an agent. I'm a company owner now. I have employees. I got 35 clients. Like I can't just be a basketball agent and just spend all my time doing that. So I partnered with him on the basketball side, and it's been incredible. We've had more guys every year, and this is our best year so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hopefully it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah,
and bigger.
hopefully, it was a perfect mix because he's an older guy, very experienced, but doesn't want to recruit doesn't want to go out and recruit and do the social media and all that.
Yeah.
So I do all that.
That's a great partnership.
So together it's like a perfect partnership.
Nice. And how big is the team now?
We got 5 full-time now.
Nice.
Yeah, 5 full-time, an assistant, and then some interns, like a couple interns that kind of, go
Nice.
back and
That's
forth.
great. You're kind of mentoring them and teaching them
Yeah.
the way. What do you think attributed to all that success so quickly?
I think just staying true and genuine to myself.
Yeah.
You get it. You build something up from zero,
Yeah,
working
yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like think entrepreneurship is like fun and like you get to do what you want. And yeah, you have times like that, of course, when you make it.
Yeah.
You know, but we never make it. There's always the next level.
Exactly.
You know, like I thought like I thought what I'm doing now in Fort Lauderdale was like my dream, and it's like, now what's next?
Right.
You know, like there's always another level.
Right.
And I think one of the things that I love and I appreciate about you is that, like me, I really value my personal fitness and my mental fitness.
Yes.
And we work out all the time.
Yes.
You know, you're into like the sauna and all that crap. Like I cold plunge and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like you're very into like fitness
Yes.
and wellness and development.
Yeah.
If you're like that, we'll get along.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people like that.
No.
And I think if you want to be in this space, you have to be like that.
Yeah.
Because if not, you're going to be burnt out. And be
Yeah.
done.
If you look at all high-level entrepreneurs, most high-level entrepreneurs
Are gangsters.
They're gangsters.
Yeah.
They
Work out.
care
Care about their bodies.
They care about their body. They care about their mental health.
100%.
Right.
That
You did 75 hard at one point.
I did
right?
do it with Dubrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did do it.
That was started by Andy Frisella,
I love him.
a hell of an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. How was that experience?
That's what changed my whole life, was getting into health and wellness.
Really?
100%. And one thing that I don't know how much you want to talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk.
But
about
like COVID, like I know you had a situation with your
Yeah.
dad. So me and you, we became even closer friends because I was going through it with my dad.
Right.
So you were telling me all the things that you went through.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a fucking year.
Yeah.
You know, so that year after my dad got out of the hospital, thank God he made it.
Yeah.
I became a health and wellness like guru. I was like, I don't feel 100%. I feel like I could be better. I feel like, you know, I'm not really taking shit seriously. And I really just started doing, like, I did my blood work. I got a nutritionist. I started going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week.
Wow.
And I'm not like ripped or anything. Trust me, I'm not. Like I eat well.
Yeah.
But I take it very seriously. And, you know, I think that's what really excelled my business.
Yeah.
Because if you feel great, dude, and you wake up every day and you feel amazing, you're ready to attack the day, you're ready to do shit, like stress in business is nothing.
Yeah.
You know, like you've already done all the hard work.
Right.
Which is fucking getting up at 6 a.m. and working out and then hitting a cold plunge in a sauna.
Yeah.
You know, and doing all that shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is tough. Do you have a cold plunge on your balcony?
I do.
You do?
Don't tell my building, but I do. Yeah. So I pulled the trigger because I was going to this place, which I love. It was called The Space in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Shout out to Socrates. He's the owner. He's incredible.
Nice.
I was going there. I became so addicted, to be honest, where I didn't want to drive there every day.
Yeah.
And it was getting a little crowded too, like, which is a good thing. He was getting busy.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of getting like sick of that. I wanted to have like my own personal quiet space where I could just go in.
Yeah.
And I found a sick one called Edge Theory, and they made an XL model for my big ass that fits. It fits 7 foot people in it.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I fit in it pretty well, which was a huge problem for all the other ones. I couldn't find any.
Yeah, your knees would be sticking out.
Like all the cheap ones I don't fit in at all. And I wasn't doing fucking ice. I wasn't buying ice. I was like, no way. So I bought that one. You know, it was expensive. It was like $4,000 or $5,000. I think it was like $4,500. And I use it every day.
Every day?
Every day.
What temperature?
37.
Oh, that's cold.
Yeah, cold as it goes.
How long are you in there for?
3 to 5. Three most of the time.
Do you put your hands in, or do you keep them?
I keep my hands out, but shoulders in. Neck is in.
Yeah.
Feet are in, and then at the end I do a head
dunk?
neck dunk. Yeah.
Wow.
I keep my hands out just because, honestly, like for the last 30 seconds, I just put my hands in because like my hands.
Dude, they get very numb.
Yeah, I don't really like. I don't need my hands.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But it's cold as fuck, bro.
Wait, but how do you have like it's not really about business or anything, but how do you have a cold plunge on your balcony? Like, don't you have to drain it?
No, it's a great question. So that was my concern.
Because I want to get one.
Yeah. So first of all, I did so much research into buying this. So the one that I bought, if you look into it, I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
It's inflatable.
Okay.
So it's sick. You could literally deflate it in 5 minutes.
Nice.
And it's made out of the same rubber as the military boats. So it's really strong.
Yeah.
You could literally do a handstand on it while it's inflated.
Really?
Comes with a machine next to it that keeps it cold, and you put a thing into it, whatever. And it has a filter and it keeps it clean and whatever. The way that you empty it and you fill it up, which you would want to do, is you go to Home Depot. I did so much research on figuring this shit out.
Yeah.
Go to Home Depot and you buy what's called, I think it's called a sup pump, which is what they use in pools where they take the water out of a pool.
Yeah.
You buy a miniature one.
Okay.
It's only $50, $60.
All right.
You put that in your bathtub or in your sink, and then all you do is go buy a skinny, long hose. You know, you can even buy one of those ones that bend,
Okay.
Those are another like $30.
Yeah.
And you just literally run it into the tub.
Oh, shit.
And that's it. And then the same way you want to empty the tub, you do the reverse.
Wow.
And it's amazing. Because I wasn't going to dump it over the balcony or
No, that's
anything. I would never do that.
Dude,
Yeah.
That's so messed
I would
up.
never do that. And also, I don't want our building, like my building, to like be mad at me. You know?
Right.
So, and it's also not as heavy as the other cold plunges because it's made out of that material.
Right.
So
You can move it around easily.
I know Gary Brecka, who's like the Health 10X guy.
Yeah.
I love him. I listen to his podcast every day. He has one on his. I think he has one in his building. He lives in Miami.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure you'd be okay.
Yeah.
I just don't know if you could fit it on your balcony. His balcony is huge, but it's not as
narrow.
wide. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd probably have to go long ways or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got to figure that out.
I'll send you a picture of what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now I go to Anatomy Gym.
Anatomy is
Edgewater.
amazing. Yeah. Don't they have a cold plunge?
Yeah, they do. That's where I plunge.
So you don't need to buy one.
Yeah, but if I want to have one at home.
Yeah, but if you're going to the gym every day, which you go
Right.
5-6 times a week,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't-
the reason I bought one is because they don't have Anatomy or Equinox in Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
Boo hoo.
Yeah.
They have no nice gyms over
They're
there.
horrible gyms.
Yeah, the gyms suck. So I was like, I got to buy one. But if I had Anatomy, bro.
Yeah. Dude, that's the one thing about when I moved to Miami is that there's so many good gyms
Yeah.
in like literally a 3-mile radius.
I know.
It's like elevation, boxer.
The only thing that
Anatomy.
you're willing to do that I wasn't was you drive to the gym.
I drive to the gym.
I hated that.
I
So I went to
enjoy
Equinox, but you're right. Anatomy blows Equinox, I think,
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
Equinox for the money. It's a great gym, clean, very nice, but the locker room sucks.
Yeah.
No sauna,
Yeah,
no hot tub,
Yeah, it sucks.
no cold plunge. We sound like spoiled brats, but
sucks.
you're paying $200 a month, $250 a month. You
Yeah.
want all that shit.
100%.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was cool for health and fitness. Let's go back to Raymond representation.
Yeah.
Tell us about the biggest deal you ever closed with Raymond Rep.
Ooh, well, I'll tell you about two.
All right.
So one of them was that recent Gatorade deal that is going to be really, really cool.
When are you announcing that?
I haven't announced it yet. So
Oh,
this will be the announcement, low key.
Oh, shit. All
But
right.
AJ starts it next week. He's actually flying to New York City. He's going to
wow.
be part of the biggest Gatorade shoot they've ever done. It's Eric Emanuel, who's like a designer. I think he's a designer.
Oh, yeah, he makes the pants, the
Yeah,
shorts.
Eric Emanuel. He's
Yeah.
doing a collaboration with Gatorade. So
Oh,
AJ
shit.
is going to be a part of that launch.
Nice.
Coolest deal we've ever done. He's going to be going to Gatorade Player of the Year, which I'll be with him at that in California.
Nice.
We did that last year, which was really cool.
Nice.
And then he's going to be doing some content for them on social media throughout it's for the whole year till 2025.
Oh, wow.
So that was multiple six figures, our biggest individual client deal. The other biggest deal that we've done was with Rain Energy, Monster. So Monster has a company called Rain.
Okay.
It's an energy drink under Monster.
Okay.
A little bit healthier, a little bit more athlete friendly.
So it's like a Celsius type thing. Right?
Basically, yeah,
Gotcha.
basically. And I'll never forget this. So Miji Suarez, who's my head of talent, she's been working with me for a couple years. She calls me actually when I was at Equinox here in Brickell, when I was still living here. And she goes, they want to give us their entire budget. And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, the whole budget. Like they want 15 athletes and they don't want to go to another agency. They just want to do it all with us. Because they were asking us, they were like, what kind of roster do you have? And they were looking for specifically like influencers and female college athletes. And I was like, literally, that's exactly what we have.
Wow.
So we basically piled together like 12 of our clients. And then through my mutual contacts, I found 3 other ones, like non-exclusively.
Yeah.
And we put together this whole deal for like $300,000 to $400,000.
Damn.
And it was crazy. So for 6 months, they were paying us. It was
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, we still work with them just on a smaller scale, but that was one of the biggest deals for sure. That was really cool.
And how far into your business was that? What was that, like 2 years in?
Yeah, it was probably like a year and a half, 2 years in.
Wow.
That wasn't the coolest deal I ever did though. The coolest deal I ever did, you'll know why, is I'm a diehard Eagles fan.
Yeah.
And, AJ is really close with Juju Smith-Schuster. And shout out to Juju Smith-Schuster. He's one of the nicest, humble, like greatest human beings, but NFL players as well, that I've ever met. And he had an esports team called Team Diverge. And he wanted sponsorships for the esports team. I don't think they do much now, but we were working with them for a couple months, and we had the opportunity to bring them out to the Super Bowl in Arizona, which is where AJ lives. And we got a house, gaming house. We shot content the whole week. We got tickets to the Super Bowl.
Damn.
We went to all the behind-the-scenes parties and all that cool shit. And the icing on the cake was that the Eagles made it, and I went to the Eagles Super Bowl. They lost.
Damn.
But it was like a dream come true for
dream
me.
come true.
I didn't even make any money. that whole deal was like we spent so much money on the travel and
Right.
like I made money, but I spent it all going
Right.
to the hotels and the dinners and everything we did.
Yeah.
But I didn't care, bro. I saw Jalen Hurts ball out. You know, I can't believe they lost
Yeah.
on a bullshit fucking call. But it was one of the best moments, honestly, of my
That's
life.
awesome.
I'll never forget that. My first Super Bowl ever was the Eagles,
That's
which is
incredible.
fucking crazy. Because like, bro, like if you know me, like
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Eagles fan
Yeah.
ever. So you're telling me that the first time I've ever been able to go to a Super Bowl was my team playing in it, and I didn't even have to pay.
Yeah, you didn't have to pay, and you did it for work.
For work.
Doing what you
I
love.
did it for work. It was like the coolest moment, honestly. I still think about it, and I hope this year in New Orleans they fucking make it because they're stacked.
Yeah. Do you ever have people reach out to you, like they see that you followed your dream, you started this agency, they reach out to you and they ask for guidance and advice?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that. I try to answer as many as I can. I'm
Yeah.
sure people hit you up too, like
yeah.
you know, and it's hard to answer everybody,
is,
right?
yeah. We're
It's because
busy.
you gotta, you're busy, bro. Like
Yeah.
we got shit to do.
Yeah.
And you know, if you impress me in the opening email or you
Yes.
have something of interest or maybe
Yeah.
a mutual contact,
Yeah.
I will try to help as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah.
I have no problem with doing that, especially if you see me in person.
Yeah.
If I go to a speaking event, like
Yeah, of
I
course.
speak at University of Miami all the time, at UCF, I will talk to every student in the room. I'll wait in line. I'll wait an hour after I leave.
Yeah.
No problem. The only thing I don't like doing anymore is like phone calls.
Yeah.
You know, can I pick your brain?
Yeah.
No. Like
For me, I'm
you don't
like,
got time for that, bro.
I'm like, no, I'll do it. I'm like, yeah, I'll let you know next time I have a drive. It's like 30 minutes. Next time I'm
Yeah,
driving.
that's
to
a good
Weston,
idea, actually.
Next time I'm driving to Weston, I'll let you know.
That's a great idea. It's like just
Yeah.
for drives. Like you
Yeah.
plan it just when you're driving.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Because I can't just sit around and be on the phone.
No,
for 30
I mean,
minutes.
bro, like especially like if I'm not doing work, I want to like relax.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
So,
But like you started mentoring people. You've had a lot of mentors along the way as well. Like for example, one of them is your partner. Who else are some of the big mentors that have helped you?
number one mentor in my life is Scott Buxing at UCF. He's
Okay.
he's basically like my older brother / was my teacher, professor. And he was actually the youngest professor I've ever had. He was like, I think he's like 37, 36.
Oh wow.
And now he's like 40, 41. But
Yeah.
we just got along like at a different level. And I ended up teaching, being a teaching assistant for him
Oh, nice.
for 3 years while I was there. And I mean, we used to work out together and just like shoot the shit. And his brother, his twin brother, is the assistant GM for the Phoenix Suns. He was the GM for actually a year as well. And he was an agent for like 8 years.
No way.
So they've both given me like incredible advice.
That's awesome.
But he's just taught me so much about life and
Yeah.
wellness. He's such a humble, grateful guy. Like doesn't care about money.
Yeah.
Like guy makes millions, drives like a Honda.
Yeah. That's
You know, like he's not into materialistic shit like me and you.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't care. I'm not. You know.
No, yeah.
No, I love it. I love
We
materialistic
love it.
shit.
Yeah, we love it.
But like some people are just built like that. You
Yeah.
know, like he's not.
Yeah.
And I respect him a shit ton. I love that guy. But I've had incredible mentors, man. Like even young, bro. Like you're a mentor. You're a close friend. I love you, but like you're a mentor as well. Like I look up to
Likewise.
you and what you do, and
Likewise. Bro.
you know, and Keith, like I said, and
Yeah.
and Orrin Mayers, who's Ray Allen's business manager. He's John Morant's business manager now.
Yeah.
He's another mentor of mine.
Wow.
So I've had incredible fucking people, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I think I accelerated success.
Without a
Without
doubt.
them, I would be shit.
No, you would still be very far, but
When you have good people around you, it expedites the process for sure.
without a doubt.
100%. So
That's really cool. And talking back to that Super Bowl experience, I see on your Instagram that you party a lot with, not party, but you hang out, you travel.
Yeah. I don't
with some
party
of
a
your
lot.
clients.
Yeah, I don't party a
No,
lot.
you don't party a lot, but
Yeah.
you hang out and you travel with some of your clients. What are some other like memorable trips that you've had?
Well, whenever I could spend time with clients, I enjoy it. I actually love working out with them. That's my favorite. Like
Yeah.
when they're like, "Yo, let's go hit a hike," or "Let's go to the gym,"
That
or
is
like,
the
"Let's go
best.
do this and that," because then I'm like doing something that I love and I'm doing it with them.
Yeah.
You know, but I've had great trips. I mean, like AJ's birthday was an incredible trip in Arizona. Like he rented out a penthouse
Oh,
at this
nice.
apartment building. It was fucking crazy, bro.
That's
it was,
awesome.
It literally had like 2 hot tubs,
That's
like
sick.
on the balcony. It was insane.
sick.
That was a great trip. I also bought him a Chad Ochocinco jersey,
Yeah.
signed, and it's like his favorite player.
That's awesome. Ocho Cinco's local too.
I'm sure, yeah, he's always around here. I've seen him actually at like a Cuban restaurant. They have a table that says the Ocho Cinco table.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
And I like going to like summer league in Vegas, and the
Yeah.
summer's fun. I've been to some weddings for clients, which have been memorable moments.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I got one coming up next month
Nice.
for one of my clients.
Congrats.
For Jalen. So yeah, there's been a lot. The NIL Summit was very cool in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which is a huge summit for college athletes. So yeah, tons of memorable trips, but the Super Bowl is
the number one.
Yeah, it's not even
And I'm
close.
sure when you were there, like the whole time, you're just like, I can't believe this is happening.
Well, it was funny because I went to the Super Bowl this year too, and I was in Vegas.
Nice.
And I didn't go to the game because I didn't care about the teams.
Yeah.
It's funny though, like when we were there for the Eagles one, like it was the best experience because I was able to like wear my jersey every day and like talk mad shit to everybody, bro. I was like,
badass.
I was like, Hurts is the best, blah blah blah. Like, it was like I felt like I was like there. I felt like I was like in Philly.
Yeah.
But in Vegas, because it was who was it this year? The Chiefs and I don't know. I don't even remember, dude. I can't remember, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was Chiefs Niners.
Yeah.
And I didn't care. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna work Thursday through Sunday morning, and then I'm gonna take the Sunday morning flight and get home to watch it on my couch.
Hell yeah.
Because like, if the Eagles aren't in it, bro, like it's too hot, it's too crowded. Like I don't fucking care.
I feel like the best part of going to wherever the Super Bowl is if you get an invite to the Fanatic Super Bowl party.
That's still a checklist item. I
Dude,
haven't done that yet.
you gotta get there.
We've done some stuff with Fanatics.
You have.
But we've never been invited to that white party that they do.
Dude.
That white party's crazy, bro. Tom Brady, LeBron.
Nuts.
Yeah. I think one day we'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
Cuz I know people that are in the industry that like they get invited. Like you don't need to be like that level,
Right.
but you
just got to sneak it into
you
the
gotta
next
know somebody.
contract.
Yeah, you gotta
And
know
I'm
somebody.
coming to the white party and the Super Bowl party.
Yeah. I would love to meet Michael Rubin, who's a goat.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is a goat.
he's unbelievable. I would love to meet
Really
him.
nice guy.
He's one of the guys that I've followed his journey and I've looked up to him. And then Rich Kleinman, who's Kevin Durant's agent.
Yes.
He's
I've seen him on social
he's
media.
phenomenal too. And it's
Yeah.
nothing just for the Jewish guys. I just
Yeah.
love what they've been able to do. And like they didn't really join like big companies or big agencies. They did it all themselves.
Yeah.
So I respect them.
Yeah.
So-
And you obviously have a lot of clients that have grown their social media a ton. If you had any tips for athletes or influencers that really want to grow their social, what would you say is like some of the things that you've seen amongst those clients?
I would say the easiest way to start is to sit down and create 3 pillars. And those pillars can be any 3 things that you want, meaning one can be your sport, one can be family, and then let's say you love video games, right? You like to stream, or you love fashion, either one. And come up with a schedule and a strategy that every week you're posting at least one thing in each of those pillars. And that way you're not doing anything new. You're doing exactly what you would already do. And honestly, just start. Like just create as much content as you can, and then eventually you'll see what's working and what's not. It's like the Gary Vee method. He always says that. Post as much as you possibly can, and then 6 months in, you'll see which ones are hitting and which ones aren't. And I think one of the biggest things when it comes to brand deals and being successful is speaking in front of the camera. I've noticed that a lot of brands want athletes that will speak in front of the camera. And it makes sense, bro. If I'm going to talk about these fucking keys right here, right? Like the name of the keys, whatever, you got to speak in front of the camera.
Yeah.
And it's not just like about like getting a camera guy and then like filming you drinking the water bottle and then that's it. That doesn't sell any fucking water bottles.
Right.
There's no brand awareness with that. It's shit.
Yeah.
So I tell all my athletes, my number one piece of advice is learn to speak in front of the camera. Don't be shy from it. You do it the best. You go on the street and literally talk to people randomly.
Yeah. And that's what really took my Instagram and my business to the next level.
I know. I love it.
Because like the first year and a half, I was just posting crash videos and posting pictures of the checks and stuff.
Yeah.
But once I started putting myself in the video, people like started feeling like they know me and they want to come to me. And
bro,
it makes a huge difference.
It's why I'm trying to start posting more content as of recently.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah, I'm trying.
This is a lot more
I'm
content.
trying.
We'll send you all the raw footage.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because when I was first becoming an agent and I was in law school, and I'm sure you would agree to this, I noticed that there wasn't a lot of lawyers or agents that had any personal brand whatsoever.
Right.
Other than Rich Paul. Rich Paul is like, because of LeBron, like everyone knows who he is, right? And everybody knows all the cool shit that he's done.
Yeah.
Other than him, I know every fucking agent there is. If you looked him up on Google, you couldn't even find a picture of the guy.
That's crazy.
All you would see is, he works at CAA, he works at Wasserman, he works at Clutch. You would not even know who he is. And then half of them don't even have Instagram, or they have like a personal Instagram that they don't even use.
Yeah,
It's
like private.
It's just like family pictures and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, if I'm just getting started in this business, like the biggest way to differentiate myself is I could just kill it on social media.
Yeah.
And I've gotten so many clients already from social media. Like I would be an idiot not to be posting content all the time.
Yeah.
And then another reason that I really was like, I got to do this. I was like, I have no choice but to do this, whether I like it or not, was because now, you got guys like Patrick Bet-David, Ed Milet, Andy Frisilla, Gary Brecka. Their businesses blew up even more because of the social media content they post now.
Yeah.
And they're everywhere. And who's Andy Elliott, the ripped guy?
Yeah.
I fucking love him.
Yeah.
Like, bro, they even talk about it. They were like, we were doing millions of dollars in business. Now we're doing hundreds of millions of dollars because of social media.
It's crazy.
So, like, we have to be on social media, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we have to. Just the key to the whole thing is, like, you got to, like, separate it.
Yeah.
What I do is, like, if I'm not making money from it or, like, it's part of my business, I try to stay off.
Right.
Like, I deleted TikTok. I don't sit on my bed and fucking watch videos all day anymore.
Yeah.
I have Instagram. I have Twitter.
Yeah.
I have LinkedIn. That's it. That's it. Because I only make money on those.
Yeah.
TikTok, I have it. I don't have the app, but I look on like when my clients do a brand deal with TikTok, I'll look at the TikTok and that's it.
Gotcha.
But I don't fucking have it downloaded on my phone.
Dude, that thing's a rabbit hole.
I know.
So,
I know.
I get on like once a week.
Yeah, bro. I was so bad at some point, bro. I was fucking an hour a night sitting in my bed watching videos. I'm like, dude, this is horrible.
Yeah, like you could be fucking sleeping.
I'm still like on Instagram and checking messages and shit. I hate it, bro. It's so bad. It's the number one habit that I'm trying to break.
Yeah.
It's
but at
so
the same
hard.
time, it makes you money. Like,
I agree. So that's what people don't understand. Is like our phones are our life, dude.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing that I'm grateful for is that like we could literally go for a 2-hour walk and just do work.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
I have 2 days a week. I told my assistant Tuesdays and Thursdays from like 12 to 3, like block a lot of phone calls during that time. Because what I do is I go walk to fucking the beach. And I'm walking through the aisles of Fort Lauderdale with the mansions and all the nice houses.
Yeah.
And I'm just answering phone calls.
It's the best.
And it's like, bro, like other people are sitting behind a desk all day.
Right.
Fuck
No.
that. Fuck
Yeah, and you got like being an entrepreneur, you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Like no one can
That's
tell
the
you,
good part.
You got to be behind the desk all day.
That's the good part about it. That's the best part about it. But again, like we said in the beginning of this,
you're always working though.
You're always
That's
on.
what people don't get.
Yeah. This is not for everybody.
No.
By any means.
No.
But we're built different.
Yeah.
We don't want bosses.
No.
We can't listen to fucking people.
Nope.
And the thing is I think me and you don't want to be capped.
Right.
And that's what I learned.
Yeah.
And my mom taught me that. My mom's an entrepreneur. She was like, do you want a salary? You'll be capped.
Yeah.
Even if you're the best lawyer, you'll be making a couple $100,000. Maybe you'll get to $1 million as a partner in 20 fucking years from now.
Yeah.
Like you could do 100 million.
Yeah.
And nothing's stopping you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's the number one reason.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome that a lot of people have come to realize that. And there's so many ways to make money nowadays.
There is.
I mean, I've had Adam from American Income. He was the first guest on the podcast. He made $500,000 at 22 years old, asking people what they do for a living on the street.
It's crazy, bro.
And he turned that into a business.
Yeah, that's like the other guy. What you do for a living? Who's the famous TikTok guy?
Ted Czar, I think.
You know what I'm talking about?
Ted Czar. I
But
think his name. Oh, Daniel Mack.
Daniel Mack. Daniel Mack.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
I reached out. I reached out to Daniel Mack one time. You know how much he wanted for a brand deal?
Oh my God.
$50,000.
Really?
50 grand. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. I love Daniel Mack.
Yeah.
Come on his podcast, Daniel Mack.
Come on my podcast, dude.
Come on,
I'm not
bro.
paying you 50 grand though.
Pull up to his cars. He has nice enough cars now.
Yeah.
Pull up to his cars. You ask him what he does for a living.
Yeah.
He makes money off your video, and then you bring him on.
Exactly. It's a win-win.
You should tag him in that.
I should, honestly. Daniel Mack.
He also has a GT4, I think.
Yeah, he has a GT4
which is sexy.
And like a Tesla or something.
My dream is a GT3.
Is that your dream car?
So I have 3.
Okay.
2 of them are the same, but different. Like, same but different. GT3 Touring.
Okay.
911 Turbo S, a cabriolet, convertible.
Yeah.
Because I can't get the hard top. I just can't fit.
No,
I would get the hard top if I could fit.
Yeah.
Or I have to get a fucking GTR at some point. I don't love the car anymore, but I have to say that I had one.
It's a badass car.
It's just like it's been my dream car since I was like 12.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have them for much longer, I don't think, unless they redo it.
Yeah.
But I think they're not going to have them for much longer because they don't sell well. Like, they're not a popular car.
Right.
And I would love to just get one and just like keep it for a long time.
Yeah.
I want to buy it and just keep it.
Yeah.
And it'll just be like a project car because my brother loves it too. It's his dream car.
Yeah, your brother's huge into cars.
Yeah, like he's the car guy. So like, I would love to have one and just like be able to fuck with it and soup it up and shit. And, have a dope, because I have the Raptor.
Yeah.
It's the perfect
The
daily.
Raptor is sick.
It's my favorite, bro. I love it.
That is a sick
I love
car.
it. The Maybach's fucking lit though.
Yeah, but the Raptor is
Yeah,
different.
but you would love my Raptor too.
Yeah,
because
I would. It's sick. I saw it, I think. I saw it already.
yeah, you did see when I was pulling out.
Yeah.
But for a daily driver, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fast as fuck, dude. It has like 600 horsepower. It sounds aggressive and like loud. Like it has the exhaust that I like.
Yeah.
And the interior is luxurious enough. I got Recaro seats, double sunroof. Like I love it. I have no complaints at all. And I was never a truck guy at all.
Really? That's
Never
your
a
first
truck guy, bro. It's my first truck. My brothers had fucking 3.
Wow.
And he told me when I was getting rid of the Charger, he was like, go test drive a Raptor and you fucking tell me.
Yeah.
And then I test drove the TRX Ram also.
Nice.
But then I was like, fuck Dodge, bro.
Yeah.
I hate Dodge.
No, you don't. You had it at Scat
Nah,
Pack.
I hate it. I'm done
We
with
actually both had. We had the same.
it.
car.
Yeah. Say you had the coupe.
Dodge Charger. No, I had that Scat Pack as well.
Oh, you had the Charger too?
Before the Challenger Hellcat.
Yeah.
I had a Dodge Charger Scat Pack.
The Hellcat was crazy, wasn't it,
white
bro?
with red interior.
Oh, so you had the same exact
I had
car.
the same car.
Literally the same car. Which for the money,
It's the best.
it's the best car on the market in my opinion.
Dude,
For under $50,000, the fact that you can have 500 horsepower, it's fast as shit.
Yeah.
It scared me driving it
Yeah.
sometimes. And it's nice. The interior's big. And it fits like a big person.
Yeah.
And it's a great car.
Super
The
comfortable.
only problem with that car is that it's the #1 most stolen and broken into car on the planet.
Yeah.
And it's a Dodge.
Yeah.
It's cheap materials.
It is cheap materials.
Cheap materials. So
But they last.
no, they last. Bro, I had it for 5 years. I had low mileage. Bro, they gave me $37,000 for it. I paid $42,000.
That's crazy.
So I had it for 5 years. I spent $5,000, $1,000 a year.
$1,000 a year.
Crazy. And then I said, listen, put it on the fucking Raptor.
Yeah.
Lower my payment.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Wow,
I
that's
bought
nuts.
the Raptor. So like that was a cool moment because like I know you got your dream car. Like the
Yeah.
Lambo was your first dream car.
Yeah, that was
and
my dream car.
The Raptor was one of my dream cars.
Yeah.
It's not my only dream car,
So
but
when are
one.
you going to get the GTR?
I need another like 2 years, I think.
Okay.
Maybe a year or two.
All right.
Not this year because the Raptor was this year.
Okay.
The
The
Raptor,
was last year.
it was like right at the end.
Gotcha.
So it counts. It was right at the end of
Yeah,
last year. It was
yeah.
like in November or December
Gotcha.
of last year.
Gotcha.
So maybe in 2025 I might pull the trigger on the GTR.
All right. You think that's your next car?
Unless my brother finds me a Porsche for the right price, because
All right.
they're fucking crazy
Yeah,
right
they're
now,
expensive.
dude. They're like $300,000-$400,000.
Yeah, the GT.
You can't even get one. I mean, you're like a 2-year wait list just to get a new one.
It's nuts.
So the Porsches are like really impossible to get. The only good thing is my mom has an SUV Porsche,
Nice.
and she's kind of in the family, so maybe I'll be able to.
Yeah. Maybe
I told her to get a Cayenne Turbo, the SUV.
Yeah, it's
my
like a
favorite car.
Urus.
Yeah, it's my favorite car ever. I love it. Like it's one of my favorite cars. I say get one, lease it for 2 years, and then I'll buy it in
Hell
2
yeah.
years. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be fucking perfect.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get a GTR in 2 years. I'm holding you to that. But
come here.
in order
I'll
to
come
get
here.
your dream cars, you really got to take Raymond representation to the next level.
Yeah.
And what do you have planned for the future?
Well, the good thing is that every year, it's been about 3 years. Every year we've doubled.
Really?
So
In revenue or
In
what?
revenue.
Wow.
in revenue. So
Wow, that's huge.
I'm doing the right things,
Yeah.
but I got to keep doing them,
Yeah.
and I got to trim the fat. The things that aren't working.
Yeah.
And then I think obviously the goal is to get a high-level professional athlete. That will take it to the next level too.
Yeah.
I mean, one of those guys can double your revenue alone. Just
Right.
one guy.
Right.
Or girl.
Yeah.
Phenomenal female athlete.
Yeah.
I would love that too.
Yeah.
So that's one of my goals. I had 3 goals this year.
Okay.
And you'll like this. I wrote them down.
I think I've seen it on.
It was in my
story.
video.
I saw.
So
it.
I had 3 goals this year. One of them, and I'm transparent as fuck. I don't care. I want people to know.
Yeah.
One of my goals was $5 million in revenue.
Okay.
We're on track to hit that.
Wait, in
now.
revenue, do you mean 5 million in brand deals?
Like 5 million just in brand
brand
deals
deals.
and
Gotcha.
pretty much brand deals and a little bit of the basketball
Nice.
pro side, but mainly brand deals.
Wow.
So $5 million in revenue
Nice.
would be unbelievable. That's $1 million in profit.
Yeah.
So that was my goal, is like hit a
'cause
hit a million.
You're on like a 20%.
Yeah, we
margin.
take about 20%.
Got you.
So
you
I
don't
was-
take it, you earn it.
We earn it,
You
exactly.
earn 20%.
We earn it, guys. You hear
Yeah.
that? It's all my clients.
Yeah, we don't take it, we earn
No,
it.
so to bring home $1 million in profit was like my goal.
Yeah.
That's cool. Right? That was my first goal. So
Yeah,
that was my goal this year. So we're on track for that. Meaning like the first 2 quarters, we've done more than enough to be on track for that.
Nice.
Which is great.
Hell yeah.
My second goal was to sign a 6-figure deal which I
Which
just
you
did. So that was checked.
Nice.
And then the third one was to sign a NBA or NFL like high level, like household name.
Gotcha.
Basically, to keep it simple. Like if I walk into your house and say, "Yo, we represent Jimmy Butler," like somebody like that.
Yeah.
And I think that would be really fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, do you believe in the law of attraction?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I honestly think
shit out
that
there.
the one thing that I haven't done that I'm going to change this year is getting in the right rooms more often. And I think that because, I'm not afraid to talk to anybody.
Right.
I'll walk up to fucking Rich Paul right now and be like, "What's good, bro?"
Yeah.
I think if I go to more events and I go to more networking events and like more big, like, summer leagues and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I think I'll get somebody that big.
Yeah.
I think that last year I low-key didn't even travel that much and I kind of stayed home because we were just so busy.
Right.
But I think now that I have the team, I can let them do all the deals and I
Yeah.
delegate as much as possible. And I'm like, let me go be the fucking face.
Right.
Like, let me go sign these guys. Let me go recruit. So this year I'm going to try to do that more.
Yeah. And I feel like South Florida is the best place for it.
100%. I mean, Miami alone has 4 or 5 events every year that I go
Yeah.
to, which I love because I just hop on the Brightline now or drive.
Huge.
I drive down here if I have
Yeah.
to. But, it's usually New York, LA,
Okay,
Miami.
gotcha.
That's like the 3.
Those are the top 3.
Vegas is like once or twice.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I don't like about my job is that I got to travel a lot, and I don't like to travel low key. I don't.
Yeah. I feel like when you're a kid, you're like, oh, that's so cool. You get to travel for work. And then you travel for work and you're like,
The older you get, the
this
more you
shit
hate it.
sucks,
Yeah, the older you
dude.
get, the more you hate it, especially
Yeah.
when you live here, bro.
right. Yeah. Every time
Dude.
I'm like, dude, I can't wait to come back to Miami.
We live in the greatest place on the planet.
We do.
I mean,
We
have
live
the
in
beach
paradise.
5 minutes away.
Yeah.
The best restaurants.
Yeah.
People everywhere.
Yeah.
I have no interest to go to like fucking Kentucky or Kansas City.
there's-
Vegas. I don't even like Vegas because I don't gamble.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
like for me, a vacation is when I don't have to work and I could go to like an island.
Right.
Or like a mountain.
Right.
And like just be away.
Just relax.
Yeah, that's a
Relax.
real vacation.
Have you taken a lot of those vacations?
I really haven't at all. No,
yeah.
I haven't.
I
mean,
haven't either.
Yeah, I never do.
Yeah.
I did the first one because to kind of wrap up the vacation stuff, like when I graduated was when I was killing it with Raymond Rep. Then my dad got the COVID, so that whole year was a wrap. We were just like doing COVID stuff for a whole year,
Yeah, of
hospital, whatever. And then the second year, I was like, I'm too busy right now. I can't
Yeah.
go on vacation. So our first big vacation, like with my family, was about a year ago, maybe 8 months ago. We went to Montana and Yellowstone and Wyoming and all that
nice.
shit. And it was
Nice.
really cool. We went to Utah.
That's badass.
Yeah. So
Zion National Park.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did
Sick.
Yellowstone too. We drove through the whole thing. It was fucking
That's
crazy.
sick.
Took like 10 hours
That's sick.
in the car, but it was worth it.
But you made it happen. Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, we talked about everything.
We talked
bro.
about everything.
We didn't talk about you.
No, because this is about you.
No,
this is
but-
about Raymond Rep.
yeah.
Is there anything that you want to tell the viewers before we end the show?
I think, my number one takeaway is always, if you guys want to be successful, focus on your wellness and your health and your
Yeah.
personal development.
Yeah.
I try to preach that as much as I possibly can because I really do think that law students don't do that,
No.
especially law students.
Yeah.
Because they all just book read all day. It's all they care about in their
Yeah.
grades. And then, listen, this shit's not easy. This
Yeah.
shit's not easy at all. Ask him, ask me. It's taken a huge toll on both of us, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of hair past couple years.
Likewise.
And
Would you do it all over again?
of
though?
course, yeah, 1,000%. It's all worth it. And, obviously long term, it's going to be worth it for sure. Because
Without a doubt.
we'll be on a fucking beach at
Exactly.
40. We'll be working still.
Yeah.
But not like this.
No, not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit the subscribe button, like, comment, follow, share. Where can they find you on social media, by the way?
Raymond Representation, anywhere on social media, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. And if you get in a car accident,
I'm your guy. To reach out to
Call my
Raymond
guy.
Representation. If you guys know any athletes that want to get repped, any influencers that want to get repped,
Yep.
this
College
is the
athletes,
guy.
yep.
This is the guy to make it happen. He'll make them a bunch of money, right? 6-figure
and
deals.
hopefully they learn a lot during the
Yes,
process. Because that's
exactly.
been the number one thing is they made a lot of money, but they've become much better people too
Exactly.
throughout the process.
7-figure deal coming soon, hopefully.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Made it happen.
Thank you.